Year 10. Welcome to what we call the beginning of how to use Dreamweaver. So this is going to be a short little lesson, but it is basically surrounding how we organize our files and how we start our Dreamweaver page to begin with. This is just the starting, but it's really, really important we get this right. This will set up the basis of how your site interacts with your computer, and it will set up all the pathways in order to access things like your photos and any videos you want to submit in, pages, where they get saved, what happens with them. So this is super important. Now, I know some of you might be inclined to save everything to your desktop. You might be someone who has really messy desktops or really unorganized document pages. We are not going to be unorganized with this because you will end up creating a catastrophe. So I'll just start with what we're actually going to do today. So we're going to create something that we call a root folder. Now, this root folder just means that everything you are going to submit into your website goes into this folder. And this folder has to be organized in a certain way so that we don't cause delinking of certain things. We do not move this folder. Once you place it where I'm going to tell you to place it, never move this folder. You will end up delinking things. You will end up having broken links to your pages. You will end up moving media and it will no longer link. So if we think about something like Premiere Pro, when you submitted or when you insert video, because the video is so big, it cannot actually physically insert completely into the program. So it doesn't create a copy of the video, it links it to your computer. So if you were to send me your Premiere Pro file but none of your video files, it would be completely broken because everything becomes unlinked. So this is where some people actually had some problems. Same thing happens with your Dreamweaver file. You have to have them all in the same place, not moved, unbroken. And the only time anyone else can actually view this website or, for your video is if it's exported. Because what happens in the export, it goes, okay, now you're finished. Now we'll compile everything together. We'll make it a smaller file. Sometimes it can't do that. We'll make it a smaller file. And now it's all in one place and I can send it off. So if everyone can go to this PC on their laptops. If you are on a Mac, the equivalent would be, for Mac, it'd be the equivalent of going to your Macintosh HD or your hard drive. So I can get up a video of how to show that up later. For the moment, I'll just show on a PC. Now, the reason we're coming here is because we actually want to go to what is called local disk or C drive. So everyone should know C drive. It's where all your program files are. Both programs, you probably get a folder that says program files and then one that says program files x86, just different types. It's where all your Windows files are. So for Macs, it'd be where all your operating system is. It's where your CPU sits as well, or the program you need for that. So this is a really, really important folder on your computer. If you were to start deleting files from from your drive, you would actually end up probably breaking a lot of the software on your computer. So your Windows probably wouldn't work properly. Any programs, this is where we come to uninstall programs if we need to, but we don't want to do that unless there's a program that's, bugging you. But this is where we do that all. So super important. The C drive is, it's super important. So I'll just give you some background on what the C drive is. So the C drive is the main or the primary hard drive of your computer. So when we open up the computer, there is actually a spinning disk And that disk is the hard drive in a computer. That is the C drive. So it is super important. It is what it goes through. So it's the primary thing that your computer searches if you need something. The reason we're not going to put our folder within documents or on our desktop, whilst it looks like it is really easy to get to, because it is really easy to get to for us, the computer actually searches C drive first for anything. So it is its first port of call. It goes to C drive for everything primary, and everything else is a secondary drive. So you'd notice if you plug in a USB, it might say D drive, then we know it's an external drive because it's a second drive on top of it. It might come up as E drive, F drive, so on and so forth, depending on how many hard drives you have plugged in. So C drive is primary drive, most important section. What we're going to do, we are going to create our root folder in here. So you are going to create a new folder. And so I'm just going to call my folder miss.cosh 10, it was supposed to say IST, but I can't put an S in because my laptop stuffed up. That's okay. Website. We're just going to call it that. This is our root folder. So everything we want to put in, so if we want photos, if we want animations, if we want music, if we want videos, anything like that, everything goes in this folder. Listen to me. Everything goes in this folder. You're not going to have photos that are going to sit in your pictures. You're not going to have photos in your downloads and documents. You're going to move all the stuff you want to put on your website into this folder. So we're just going to do a little bit of cleaning up with this folder. So we're going to add a couple of things. We want to add a folder that says pages. This is where you're going to save all your pages. So when you open a new Dreamweaver page, you're going to hit File Save, and you're going to save it into this folder. Underneath that, we're going to make a new one, and this is going to say, let's go Media. So all the media is going to go into this folder. So that means pictures, that means animations, that means videos, that means music. All of it goes into this folder. Okay, so anything else you can think of that might need a folder, I am happy if you want to create a new folder, that's okay. But try and minimize it to just these two folders, as in this folder and then this folder, which means that you're only going through a couple of folders. So that means the program is only searching your local disk, finding the root folder, which is Miss Kosh 10IST website, and then going into media to find a picture. And that's all it's got to do. It doesn't have to search through hundreds of photos in your downloads, because I guarantee your downloads look something like mine, which is a mess. So we're not going to do that. So coming back to our root folder. So what we're going to actually do is we're just going to set up a new page in Dreamweaver and link your Dreamweaver to your root folder, which is this one. Now, just don't get confused, because I also have a test file here. That was just me testing prior. So we want to do this one, the miss.cosh. Okay, so we're going to open up Dreamweaver. Now, your Dreamweaver might look slightly different to mine. I've been playing around with my Dreamweaver just to remember some stuff and get some stuff ready for you guys. So don't be alarmed by all the files that are appearing that are not appearing in yours. You might find that you open Dreamweaver and there's a couple of windows that open prior to you getting to this point. Just see if you can cancel, okay, until you get to this point. Now, when you do get to this point, we want to start or create new. You have a couple of different things you can do in this section. Home is where all your saved pages are. So exactly like in Photoshop, you have everything that you've done recently in your home. You can do some tutorials in Learn if you want to. They are actually really good. So I do say, if you have the time, go for it. You can hit Quick Start, and you might want to just start a new document. That's fine, and I'll show you which one to press there. Okay, so these are all the different types of documents that you can actually find or use in Dreamweaver to build your page. So like we were talking about prior about different types of code, these are the different types of code that you can use to build your document or build your pages of your website. Now, CSS is just a design element. HTML is what we're going to be using, so we're always going to be using this one. JS is JavaScript, and then we've got all these other ones that I'm not familiar with and I have not used before, so we are not going to do it. Ignore the stuff down here. This might look like it's going to be really good because it's a site setup, so it gives you all those links already. It's not great. Don't use it. We're going to use document HTML. Before we hit that, if we go to starter templates, some of you might want to use some of this stuff in here because it might give you a little bit of a guide of what should be in a website and where you can place items and things like that. So it might be a little bit more helpful to you than if you just built from scratch. So I would use the basics. I would not go into Bootstrap. Ignore the ones that say Bootstrap. You can give it a go if you really want to. They're not too different. But these are more things like if you had an agency and you wanted to show all your houses for sale, if you wanted to have a resume, if you wanted to set up a email response link between your email and your website, if you wanted to have a blog that answers automatically or has an e-commerce page that updates quite frequently, that's what you'd start using. It actually links to data that can be put into like a Excel page or probably a little bit more sophisticated version of an Excel page. So I would go in and maybe use these three here, the basic, multi-column, simple grid, and single page. Stick to those three. We're just going to go to quick start for today because I just want to show you how to link up your root folder. So we're going to use a HTML document. Make sure you're clicking HTML. Don't want to hear that you've hit something else. HTML. And we have a solid white page pop up and we have down the bottom a code. I've got it in split. You might have it like this. So at the moment I'm looking at just code. You can change to split or you can change to live so you can see what you're doing. Now what we actually want to do, at the moment I've got my folder set up. I want to actually link. So I want to manage site. I want to do a new site. My new site will be miss.kosh 10. I'm going to put IT because I can't put S because else I stop my recording. Website. Then where it says local site folder, this is where you're going to put where the root folder is. So you're going to come over to the folder on the side here. You're going to click them. You're going to click once. Don't go into it. Just click once on your folder and hit select folder. Then hit save. You can then hit done. Now, you will notice over the side here, should say files at the top, in your local files, you'll see you have a media folder and you'll have a pages folder. You can then create different pages. So really, really simple to create pages. Right click on your pages file, hit new file, and a new page will actually pop up and it'll say .html, which means you know it's going to be a page. So we're going to make a couple of different pages. So we're going to make a home page. So I'm actually going to call it home page. We're going to do right click again, new file. We're going to make an about page. We are going to make, I'm going to do another one. We're going to do gallery page. I'm also going to make a landing page, and I'll explain what a landing page is. Voila. Okay, so I've got these 4 pages now. So I can actually now open up all these different pages, and you will see up the top here, they will now pop up. I'm going to get rid of the untitled because we don't need that anymore. Now when I actually do something in this page and I then save, which is up the top here, they will just save straight into that thing. If I open up my files again and I go in here, they are now all here. So if I wanted to open this up, for some reason it's Microsoft Beta, but that's okay. It opens up. So of course I have nothing in my page, but I can actually view them still. So let's come back here. Okay, so that should just be the starting of what you should do to set up all your pages. I'm going to recommend, just for your structure of your website, this landing page, instead of having it in your pages, have it outside the folder. I know I just put it in the folder, but I'm going to suggest, let me close it in Dreamweaver before I do this, before it goes crazy on me. Move it. Oops. Put it out here. That is just going to tell your website that your landing page is a landing page and it's not a page of your actual website. What a landing page is when you open up a new website, sometimes you will find that it will open up to a page that is really just has images on it, and it might be like, welcome, click to enter our site. And once you click to enter, unless you hit the back button up the top, up here, you will find that you will not be able to get back to that page. There will be no links back to that page unless you re-enter the page on Google or you type in the web address again. So it's like a one-stop page, just to be like, flashy, here we are, click to enter. It's kind of like a cool starter just to show people where they are and things like that. I will show you an example of a landing page in the next tutorial, because I actually have my website that I created for IST when I was at school. So I will show you what a landing page is, a couple of them, because I've got a couple of other people in my classes ones as well, just to give you an idea what they might look like. Okay, do all that for now, get that set up, have that all done, and we can go from there. Remembering that every image that you want to put in or media, make sure you put it in this folder. Once you reload Dreamweaver, they will actually show up on the side here. So you don't have to actually go through your files and go, I'm going to drag this photo out here. Your files are over here. You've already linked Dreamweaver to that file or to that folder, which just makes it so much easier. So give that a go, set that all up, get yourself organized, put everything you want into these folders, and just stop there. All right, thank you. Yeah.